Welcome to a world with limitless possibilities. A world where pain and suffering are matched only by the sounds of those who endure it. Welcome to your nightmare.
Welcome to your nightmare.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Nightmare. First off, I would like to thank all the new listeners who have joined our show, and of course the OG listeners that have been listening to me since day one. So let's get right into it. For tonight's show, I'm going to be narrating two stories for you, written by Cheesy Hunk 1. The first story is about what takes place at a creepy hotel in the middle of nowhere. This story is called I Work at a Hotel in the Middle of Nowhere, written by Cheesy Hunk 1 on Reddit No Sleep. As the title says, I work in a hotel in the middle of nowhere. It's a strange hotel though. That's why I'm talking about it here. I came here 5 years ago looking for a job and wound up here. I'm not going into specifics right now, but nothing has been normal since even before I got the job. The nearest town is about 9 miles away, and the nearest city is about 25 miles away. I don't want people coming and trying to find me or, even worse, stalking me. I already have one of those types around, and that's plenty. But if you've driven down a long stretch of road surrounded by woods and see a really nice chain hotel in the distance, that's probably this one. I wanted to keep a journal and share some stories of the curiosities that I've experienced with people to make sure I'm not going crazy. Everything I will tell you is real and happens in my day-to-day life. I'm 100% of sound mind and haven't had any mental disorders that would hinder these accounts. First, I'll share some things about the hotel. The hotel is really nice, almost too nice just to be a chain. So nice even I myself live here in one of the rooms on the 5th floor. It always has that premier hotel smell, nice decorations, and many accommodations for the guests. The owner only speaks in Pig Latin. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not explaining in full here. You might ask why, or isn't that hard for everyone to understand? My answer to that is I don't know why, and yes. When I first met the owner, I was confused, but I picked up on it after a minute. I only realized it was Pig Latin when he ended every word in A. My friends and I would use it as a code sometimes, but I didn't know it would actually be useful in my life. I still keep a notepad and pen because he speaks too fast sometimes. When I first met the owner for the night shift position at the front desk, he said, "Oh way, are you yay?" My appropriate response of "what?" had upset him. So he said it again in a disgruntled tone. After thinking about it for a second, I asked him, "Are you speaking Pig Latin?" And he nods his head in affirmation. Not to say it was a very long interview. Later, after working here for a couple weeks, I asked the owner why he did it, but he just shrugged and walked away. I never brought it up again. He upsets the cleaning lady, Lois, often with the way he speaks, and to see her get that angry is funny. Just last week, he came in and tried to get her to do something, but she was too busy being her drunken self. He woke her up and she got all pissy about it. I can't really complain much about Lois though. She does her job well. I just don't know how she does. She's almost always drinking, but it doesn't seem to hinder her ability to do her job. Seeing her stumble down the halls, trying to get her bearings a little is off-putting, but if I haven't gotten a complaint about rooms being dirty or messy, I won't judge. The hotel has 7 floors. The top floor has a couple of suites, one of which is currently being rented out by our semi-permanent guest. The 6th floor has one room with a constant water leak. It's not a small leak either. It gushes out gallons upon gallons a day. Before I even started here, it's been a problem. Apparently, the water suppression system in the room kicked on one day and has never stopped. The water never comes out from underneath the door, but we leave the window open so it can drain out. The owner has had many plumbers, firefighters, and water suppression experts come in to turn it off, but they all leave stumped. He even tried replacing it once or twice, and still, no luck. Funny enough, we had to replace all the other rooms' water systems because of that one room. Anytime you go to the back of the building, you just see the water flow down the building and into the lot. We're so fancy, we have our own waterfall. I know, bad joke, but I think it's funny. The second floor is always reserved. No one can ever take the rooms, but to my knowledge, the rooms are fine. And the cleaning lady takes care of them often, even though they're never even used. The owner is very adamant about those rooms being reserved, but I've never gotten a clear answer as to why. I've only been to the floor once or twice out of curiosity. It's so quiet, it just gives off a weird vibe, and I try to avoid it. The third floor has the noise room. The noise room is very obnoxious to the point I want to pull my own hair out. I will get constant calls all throughout the night about room 320 being absurdly loud. Every time I go to the floor, the noise echoes down the hall and reverberates in the elevator. When I get to the door and knock, the noise stops. I knock 3 times, unlock the door, and without fail, the room is completely empty. All the lights in the hallway are burned out on the 5th floor. Since this is the floor I live on, I've complained to the owner a couple times about it. He always tells me he'll get it fixed, but that never happens. Other than that, the floor is pretty normal. I think a ghost lives on the 4th floor. I get calls from time to time about a noise or somebody humming down the hall or some kind of groaning. Things get moved around and people's stuff will disappear, but nothing really important, like a sock or some kind of cheap jewelry. I've never had any kind of experience on that floor, but it bugs the cleaning lady to go up there. Now, I'm not one for the ghosts, as in I don't really believe in them, but people swear they'll see or hear it. I think that's all for the floors and such. I'll talk about our repeat guests and other frequent people here later. But I guess it's that time of the year for the vampires. Be back soon. Part 2. Hi everyone, I'm back. Sorry for keeping you all waiting. It's been busy these last few days, so I haven't had much time to write in this journal. Last time I posted here, I got some comments, questions, and concerns, so I figured I would address them here. I got comments mostly about the vampires, so I'll talk about them first. I only call them the vampires because that's what they call themselves. It's fitting though. They're always pale and wear Victorian goth clothes. The father is always the one whom I talk to, and I've had little interaction with his wife, twin sons, and daughter. They always stay at the hotel for their hunting trips 2 or 3 times a year. The father claims they will hunt humans and devour them, but they only hunt animals. I've seen them bring back bags of meat, but there's no way you can convince me they're actually killing people. And that's what we look like on the inside? I know deer meat when I see it. I'm not worried about the family coming after me or anything like that. They've told me that I'm one of them, that I only sleep during the day. They're generally pleasant and only ask for the bare minimum, so I like having them stay. As far as my employment here, I am the only person who works the desk at night. I do work full time and I will work 6 days a week if the owner asks. If I do have the day off, the owner takes over for me. We also don't get too many guests, just some late night drunks or people on long road trips. If we do get busy, that usually means there's some sort of convention or fair in town or the city. Just last week, we had a lumberjack convention, which I didn't even know was a thing. The place was packed with big men in their jeans and flannels, wielding axes. It was a nice change of pace from the regulars. Oh, I almost forgot. Someone asked my name the other day. It's John. The only other person who works at night is Lois, and the owner is around as well. I don't think I've ever seen the owner leave the hotel since I started, but I know he does since he'll bring back food. I don't know exactly from where, but it's usually Chinese food, and there isn't one within 15 miles. Every time he brings it back for us, it's always hot and fresh. Every time he brings in the Chinese food, he leaves me a fortune cookie. Now these cookies are actually fortune cookies, although the fortune seems strange or ominous, like, look at the door, and then someone walks in. Or, your day will be busy tomorrow. They always seem to come true. I don't know if he's putting his own fortunes in them or if they're from the restaurant. Either way, it's a little unnerving. Speaking of which, I get into some of them. Mr. Pink, our semi-permanent guest on the 7th floor, is a kind man and one that I'm fond of. Unfortunately, he's going through a divorce with his wife and is staying until he gets back on his feet. I don't think I know his actual name, even though I could look it up on the computer, but that feels like it would ruin the mystery. What if he has a weird name? I call him Mr. Pink because he is always wearing some sort of pink, whether a belt, shirt, or socks. His wife will drop off the kids to stay sometimes, and they are well-behaved kids. I've seen him with them once or twice, but he seems like a good dad. I'll talk to him during the night if he's in the lobby, and we'll share some things about what's going on around the hotel. Next is Donnie Smith. This guy is such a sleaze. He comes in every other night with a different escort and stays overnight in a room. Every time he comes in, he brags about his life and how great it is. He likes to hit on the female guests. This guy is gross, and I don't want anything to do with him, but as the owner says, a paying customer is a guest. Then we have the bar warmer. It's just what I call him. I don't think anyone knows him. He pretty much lives at the bar, as that's where I only see him. He wears some sort of old military uniform, maybe Civil War era? I don't know much about old uniforms, I'll have to look into it. He always has a drink in his hand and a stool underneath him, which I don't think we even have a bartender. He kind of gives off a general weird vibe, and I try not to bother him. Last but not least, my stalker. He stopped in one day looking for a room for the night, and he hasn't left since. He doesn't rent a room or even sleep in a car, but he's always around. He always looks at me with a weird smile and a black zip-up hoodie and stained jeans. I don't even remember the guy's name. It's been so long since he's been around. He's freaked me out on a couple occasions, always just around the corner after I leave a room or on the same elevator ride. One time, he just stood outside in the rain all night waiting for me to take out the garbage from the lobby. I've complained to the owner, who will ask the guy to leave, and he will, but he always comes back. We've tried getting the police involved, and they say they can't do anything about him because they can't find him or he's non-violent. I've never had a real conversation with the guy, but I keep mace on me just in case. The only thing to note here is that recently someone has been putting mints on the pillows. I only know because people will thank me when they leave for the mints, which confused me. We've never done that at this hotel. I asked the owner and he didn't know what I was talking about, so I asked Lois. Hey, have you been leaving mints on the pillows? No, but I have been eating them when I find them. They always come back. What do you mean? Whenever I leave a room and go back, there's always a mint on the pillow. Huh, weird. So I had to find out for myself. Before bed the other night, I walked into a room, and sure enough, there was a mint on every pillow. I took one and tried it, and I gotta say they're the best mints I've ever had. So now and then, I'll take the mints and put them in a bowl at the front desk for people to take. Although I think there might be some sort of drug or something in them, because the only way I can describe the effect, it's like an instant antidepressant. Anyway, I think I have to go. I hear a distant acapella of carnival music outside. I guess the circus is in town. Feels like it's going to be a long night. Be back soon. That is all for tonight's episode. I hope everyone has enjoyed this story as much as I did narrating it for you. And as always, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and leave a comment to let everyone know what you think of the show and how we're doing. And also, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any story suggestions, please reach out to me at nightmarepod@gmail.com. And until next time, sleep well.